Last year, Christian Yelich was able to establish himself once again as one of the best hitting outfielders in the game. And today, I want to take a quick look at how he was able to do that. I'm going to focus on the improvements he made from 2022 and 2023. I'm not going to try and compare him to his 2019 self. This isn't going to be one of those downfall of Christian Yelich videos or anything like that. Staying in the big leagues is about more than playing well. It's about being able to adjust. The small changes you make in between or even during a season, whether it's in mechanics or approach, are what keep you in Major League Baseball. You either adjust or you die. Luckily, Christian Yelich is alive and well, so I'll step off my grandstand of an intro here and let's just get into the video. So in 2022, Christian Yelich was in an interesting spot. He was an above-average hitter, walking a good amount and still hitting the ball hard as he always has, but he struck out a ton and was just pulling too many balls on the ground. Pair this with not great defense in left field, and it was just an okay year for him. Good for a little more than 2 WAR, but if you ask some of the accountants in Milwaukee, maybe not the $26 million the Brewers were paying him. The following year, however, Yelich made some adjustments and was really able to turn things around. He was able to boost his OPS plus from 109 to 124, and he ranked third amongst left fielders in offensive WAR, behind only Corbin Carroll and Juan Soto, both of which are like a decade younger than him, so I mean, we can give him a pass there, right? So what did Yelich improve? Taking a look at his slash line, in 2023, Yelich saw improvements across the board. His batting average and on-base percentage were both up, but most significantly, his power came roaring back. His slugging percentage rose from 383, which was below average, to 447. So he was able to make quality contact far more often. But what adjustments did he make to create this power? Well, it really wasn't a change in approach, at least not from a pitch selection standpoint. He did swing more often in 2023, around 2 to 3% more than last season, but he didn't become more selective. His swing rate increased regardless of whether the pitch was thrown in the heart, shadow, or chase of the zone. Check out my previous video if you want to learn more about those. One of these spots. So he became slightly more aggressive, and his swing and miss percentage also went up by around 2%, but those aren't the changes that brought his increase in power. Instead, he was able to do more damage with the same pitches he's always been swinging at. When it came to 2023, where Christian Yelich really made his money was going to the opposite field. The thing is, before last season, Yelich was already a great opposite field hitter. He had an above average 30% of the balls he put in play to the opposite field, and his .628 slugging percentage on those balls ranked 16th in the league. So this was already something he was really good at. But in 2023, he upped his game to an incredibly elite level and slugged .849 to the opposite field. A 250-point increase from last year, and that allowed him to rank 6th in the league in opposite field slugging. This 250-point increase was also the 6th largest increase of any player from 2022 to 2023. Yelich was up there with guys like Matt Chapman and his old MVP rival Cody Bellinger, who also had a bounce-back year. You'll notice that 4 of the 5 hitters who improved more than Yelich had below average slugging percentages the year before. They simply went from just okay to pretty good. Yelich went from pretty good to incredible. Yelich led the league in run value for balls hit to the opposite field, and even if you don't believe in voodoo magic stats like that, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say, looking at every other stat hitting to the opposite field, that he was far and away the best opposite field hitter in baseball last year. And his opposite field success actually came in 2 different ways, depending on the handedness of the pitcher. Versus lefties, he sacrificed quantity for quality, going oppo less, but trading in singles for doubles and driving it further down the line. He also lifted the ball more, and this increased launch angle helped him match his home run total from last year, even with less volume. More efficient. But when it comes to righties, Yelich asked, why should I have to choose between quantity or quality? Why can't I just do both? And both he did. His secret versus righties? Barrels. Lots of barrels. Yelich hit 15 barrels to the opposite field versus righties, more than double the previous year. Barrels were the highest quality of contact, and it allowed him to hit 13 doubles and 7 home runs to left field, with a hard hit rate of 48.9%. And the best part is he didn't have to sacrifice any contact to do this, still tallying 23 singles and raising his batting average to 473. All of this gave him an incredible .846 opposite field slugging percentage versus righties, ranking him 3rd amongst all qualified lefties, just behind Bryce Harper and Corbin Carroll again. And a big part of how he was able to do this was by using the entire plate, including inside pitches. Usually, if you're going to go oppo, you tend to have better success with pitches on the outer half of the plate, and it makes sense from a physics sense. Ball outside, hit ball outside. But if you look at Yelich in 2023, yes, he was great at pushing outside pitches to left, but he also had an incredible ability to do the exact same to inside pitches. His ability to drive even the furthest inside pitches the other way was on full display in 2023. And if you can hit inside pitches to the opposite field this well, there's nothing that's going to stop you. Now, obviously, hitting to the opposite field was Yelich's most powerful improvement as a player, but what about to the other sides? When it came to hitting the ball up the middle of the field, Yelich didn't improve from last year. This was basically because he struggled so much versus lefties, with only 7 hits, all of which were singles. But at the same time, he destroyed righties, hitting line drive after line drive back up the middle with additional gap-to-gap power. Both of these changes canceled each other out though, so his production remained basically the same. Unfortunately, Yelich's Achilles heel is still to the pull side, and he didn't improve much from last year. He just can't seem to get the ball in the air, with an average launch angle to the pull side of negative 8.5 degrees. That's second lowest among all qualified hitters in 2023. And his batting profile is almost identical from 2022. If there's a positive here, at least he's hitting the ball harder, especially versus lefties. However, a hard hit ground ball is still that, a ground ball. And as the old saying goes, there ain't no slug on the ground. Except there totally are. I don't get this one. They're everywhere. It's so stupid. I'm sorry. I have to keep that. That's funny. So in 2023, it seems like Christian Yelich and the Brewers hitting staff have decided to go all in on something that he was already really good at last year, and that's hitting the ball to the opposite field. Instead of trying to address his issues on the pull side, it seems like Yelich has doubled down on his ability to hit the ball hard and to go to the left side of the field. And it's really worked out. He's hitting for much more power than he has in a long time, has been able to stay healthy, and minus the weenie arm, played better defense in left field. Personally, I love the adjustments that players have to make. I think it's the most interesting part of the game, and whether it's in season or in between seasons like Yelich seems to have accomplished, I think it's the most important and interesting part of the game. And even for the seemingly invincible players, adjusting eventually will become a must, unless you find a chest of anabolic steroids hidden in the forest. And that is how Christian Yelich improved from 2022 to 2023. I hope to be making more of these shorter videos, especially as the new season rolls around and we can see what guys have changed their approach. I hope to be making more of these, or maybe this is the only one I make. I don't really know what I'm doing. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Bye. Goodbye. Why is it not stopping? Hello again. I know I just said goodbye, but again, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. The support has been great. I say I post for myself, which is kind of true, but it's cool to see that I'm not completely wrong on things that I talk about. So do that. I can't ask you to like, comment, and subscribe because I have made fun of people my whole life for doing that. It's a pride thing. Okay, go away. Goodbye for real. Or do those things maybe.